Hello, my name is Jonathan Sherwood, and this is a creation I made for Unreal Tournament's Free-for-All Deathmatch. It takes place on a moon base dedicated to a cannon. As you can see by cosmetic, they are gathering power. It streams down, collects into the factory towards this central power. You can see that the central power leads to a power-up that gives the player bonus damage for a short amount of time. Now this power-up is in the middle of all the conduits, so it also deals a small amount of damage to the player, making them have to make the decision of do they want extra damage in compensation for losing health. Generally, you only lose about 2 health per second, so long as you're not in there for very long, it's a worthwhile trade. However, if you are pinned down and you're running away from opponents, it may actually behoove you to avoid it altogether. Also, it's got a relatively long respawn rate, which means it's not something that people will be fighting for fairly consistently, meaning it may be worthwhile trading so long as you can get away. Now, the layout of this place is that on the outside, you're on the moon and you're in a crater. So the outside is supposed to be fairly sparse. However, their motivation to be here is that there's a lot of quick maneuverability and means of moving around, as well as additional weapons, power-ups, and health. There's plenty of ways to get around, from flat surfaces you can run along to being able to bounce off of the walls, leading to a control room. The control room additionally has weapons and powers as well, which is a good vantage point to want to attack other players from. Bot testing has shown that both the control room and the factory seem to be the best areas for free-for-alls, whereas the edges seem to be a good place to get away to in order to grab health and then bounce back into the fight as quickly as possible, which was part of the design mentality. So, giving it a run-through, there's an elevator that helps you move up and down from top floor to bottom floor quickly. However, if you don't have time for the elevator, you can also move up the ramp. If you stop on the ramp, there are plenty of smaller items that more skilled players can jump to, gaining additional health, armor, and weapons, while also being able to keep an eye on all the opponents. The downside to being able to get all these weapons is you are at the mercy of all opponents who can see you from above. Moving outside, you're at the mining drill, where there are plenty of places to hide and ways to shoot around. However, if you want to head back up, there are plenty of teleporters and jump pads that get you where you need to go. At no point are you ever trapped in the level. You're able to make a decision of where you want to jump down to, up to, and avoid everything as much as possible. However, skilled players can navigate it even better. For example, this door opens slowly, letting a less experienced player run through, but not very quickly. If they're running away from an opponent in a rush, they're trapped for a moment. However, a skilled player can use this opportunity to simply slide under, moving quicker. They can pick up weapons and head back into the fight. More design choices were the fact that nothing in this level allows you to go any higher than the edge ridge of this entire location, meaning you'll never see over the fact that there's, well, nothing to see. Even rocket jumps have been designed to not be allowed to get you any higher than as low as you need to be. Continuing on the edge, you'll see that, once again, there's always a choice to either turn around, move a new direction, or keep going the way you're going. While the edges are a little more sparse for decoration, that is, once again, because it's supposed to keep in theme with the fact that you're on the moon. Anything human-made is impressive and full of objects and items, along with ways to move around really quickly, whereas the edges are meant to be a lot more empty and sparse. Weapons are placed in exactly where you'd expect them. You've got yourself a sniper and a fairly decent vantage point, which not only gives you a good way to shoot everybody, but also a couple of escape routes. However, that also means that you're most vulnerable. People will see that you've picked up the sniper because you've gone up from the top. Once again, there's another skill shot here where you can slide underneath to get this item, or you can simply run into it and reach a dead end. Any different area that you're expected to go to has a bit of a cookie trail in order to get you to wherever you want to go. Health items here and armor there, so that the players aren't consistently staying just in here for the sake of the free-for-all. So now let's try an example of a round with a couple of bots. Ultimately, you'd want maybe 8. Any more than that and the match would start to get a little cluttered. However, with the addition of extra reasons to go to the edges, there's actually a lot more of a spread out of the bot's mentality. However, we'll start with 8 for now. Unfortunately, the bot's mentality isn't, to spread out and enjoy the map. However, no matter where you go, you're going to notice that there seems to be a firefight everywhere, because at any given moment, there's a good reason to be any part of the level. The observatory has a couple of people fighting, usually in the slums because there's a rocket launcher. The edges have more of the health and power-ups, and the inside is a better location for everyone to get to at the same time. Playing now with a few more bots, you'll find that it's even more likely to find a little bit of anybody anywhere. This is perfect for a 12 versus each other map, where lots of people are all over the place so that they have an opportunity to grab weapons, kill each other, but you'll still find people out in the outskirts. Playtesting showed that the edges of the map were not as interesting to get to, and therefore the only solution for that was to also make it more valuable. There's more items, there's more spawn locations, and there's these jump pads that can get you anywhere you need to go. Mind you, I'm not very good at this game, so it's hard for me to show you. But as you can see, no area seems to be empty. There's always a reason to be somewhere. I've gotten health, now I'm back into the fight. I'm in 11th place, but you understand. But hopefully you liked the level, and there it is.